We got a bit of a late start today. I had a little bit of an unusual schedule. Okay. All right. Let's see. See, tonight my voice is good, and it's because I just got so much sleep. I didn't get much sleep last night, but I took a fucking long ass nap today, and my voice is like fucking amazing. I really need to get a handle on my sleep shit. It's fucking destroying me. I don't understand what the fucking problem is. I've always been really good at sleeping. Now it's like, fuck, man, I can only get a couple hours at a pop. Maybe I need to go back to booze. Fuck that, I'd rather live like this. All right, let's get a whiff of that. Oh, yeah, I haven't had any Calypso in a while. I've been so fucking hung up on fucking Prime. Too much good shit going around. Oh, what? Huh. Oh, what? Did not think that it was that high in the air. Not think that it was that high in the air. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I need to turn off that external speaker before it gets super annoying. I need to turn off that. There we go. Speaker before it gets super annoying. There we go. Yeah, that cart's dead. Yeah. Oh shit. Maybe not. That battery's low as shit. Yeah, we'll let that sucker charge up. We might get a couple more out of there. That battery's low as shit. Yeah, we'll let that sucker charge up. We might get a couple more out of there. And I am going to charger on this little guy. Did not mean to buy a pod today, but I accidentally bought one. Luckily, I have a battery. Otherwise, I'd have been fucking jacked. Luckily, I have a battery. Otherwise, I'd have been fucking jacked. Oh, it won't hit while it's charging. Alright. We are, yeah, let's make sure the stream is running. We are, yeah, let's make sure. Checked YouTube. YouTube was good. Let's check Twitch. Oh, we checked YouTube. YouTube was good. Let's check Twitch. Oh, we checked YouTube. YouTube was good. Let's check Twitch. There we go. It's probably gonna bump again. Yeah. Let's go back. There we go. It's probably gonna bump again. Yeah. Let's go back. There we go. Probably gonna bump again. Good lord. Oop. Good lord. Oop. That's fucking funny as hell. Totally unmuted, just a fucking honk in your ear. That's fucking funny as hell. Totally unmuted, just a fucking honk. Alright, that maybe looks a little bit orange. Alright, that maybe looks. How come that's not doing anything? Oh, the delay. How come that's not doing anything? Yeah, I forgot I'm looking at YouTube and not Streamlabs. Well, not Streamlabs. OBS. Fuck Streamlabs. All my homies hate Streamlabs. Somewhere that's maybe a bit much. Will it not let me fine tune anymore? Like 1.5 or 2. Can I punch numbers in? What? It won't let me do 1.7? Fucking weak. Fuck. Okay, so I guess we're gonna stick with 5. See if we can fade the rest with the color factor. Jeez, that's really the lowest it goes. Wow. Let's maybe drop back down. And we go on the orange side with the lights. We can't do anything between that, huh? Jeez. Oh, wow. Holy balls. Oh, you know what it is. The overhead lights are kind of washing shit out. That's right. I turned a couple of those off. Can't wait till I get solid fucking setup in here and I can just set it up every day and not think about it anymore again. Okay, we want that one off. And if we go, that's probably pretty good. This thing is like crooked. Needs to go. If I need to go this way, the camera needs to go this way. It's still kind of on a lean. Oh. Oh, that's probably. I'm all fucking being particular and shit. Not that. Maybe this guy. Can't remember what the hell I've been doing. Oh, wow, jeez. Party. Hey, there we go. I think we're in the zone. I don't know. I wish I could, like, really fine tune this a little more. Hey, there we go. It feels so fucking pale. You know what? I think we're maybe not in bad territory. I think I look a little pink. I don't know why it feels so different every day. But I guess we don't really have to. As long as we get shit done. Get her done. Fucking cables. Please, somebody out there, come up with a good fucking wireless, non latency fucking headphone, please. It will be forever in your indebtedness. Okie doke. Pending. Mm. Prime cut, Miggity Mac, doggy dog, dog. What do we got going on here? I can't believe we like fixed that sound later on. We're gonna have to do something to make it better in the other two parts too, because let me see something too. I keep forgetting. This is like one of the first times I've used a limiter. Ooh, I should make sure this thing's set up for the night too. I got some dabs. I got some fucking Some chili cherries from Calypso, one of my fucking favorites. Yeah, I haven't had any Calypso in a while. The chili cherries was always a good one. All of their shit's good. Eh. Eh. Actually, probably dump those out. I just noticed my fucking mic's been muted. And it seems to be like fucking way high. What if I... Is this the one? No, this... Alright, let's try turning down this gain a little bit and see if we can get it to the point where it doesn't jump into the red. I don't know what the fuck to say, so I'm just gonna ramble on like a fucking idiot here. I heard Bubbles is giving free space rides for $250,000 up in Nova Scotia. Not really, it's just a meme I saw the other day, and it's kind of related to that submarine thing. Thought it was kind of funny. Might be a little mean, I don't know, but I thought it was pretty funny. Hey, did I go back the other way? I wish they would just put this shit on the front of the microphone. So if that is up, then full gain would be there. Which means, yes, this is how it was when I got here. This is full gain. This is minimum gain. That actually doesn't even look bad. How about now? See, now it's not going anywhere. Now it's creeping. It's still not going. Oh, now every once in a while. Let's go back. How about now? See, I don't see any red now. I think this might be like, it just did creep. Just. But I really gotta get loud. Like, let me try going back a little more. Oh, wow, wow. That is so much further than it needs to be. All right, let's try this again and see if it balances out in about the same spot. I think this is about where it was. It seems to be pretty close. If I get real loud, I mean, if, you know, right here, it's like right teetering on the edge. So let me back it off just a hair. Let's see. I don't know. Can I get it to go into the red? I really got to push. It's still, it's like right on the edge. I got it a little bit. All right, let's take a listen and see how this shit sounds on YouTube. All right, here we go. It's gonna sound really bad. Let's see how bad it actually is. All right, let's just keep talking here. Let it go, let it go. Is my volume not on? What's going on here? All right, let's just keep. Thought I heard it. Let it go, let it go. It's on. I don't know what the fuck. It's a long delay. What's going on here? Ooh, I don't have any audio. What the shit? It's on. I don't know what the fuck. It's a long delay. Ooh, I don't. There's a problem. Oh man. What the fuck is up with that? Oh man. What the fuck is up with that? I wonder if there's any chance it could be a setting. Let me. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably the mic's down. Fucking. Even though it's showing in the red, I bet you that that's the fucking problem. Because I remember people telling me all the time my microphone wasn't working. So let's crank this thing up and see what. See, now I'm starting to hear myself. Maybe not. I can hear it a little bit. Now I'm starting to hear myself. How about now? I can hear it a little bit. The fuck? How about now? What's going on Twitch? Oop. Yeah, this is not cool, man. Ooh, I should also check my sound from my DAW. See if Ableton's making enough noise. All right, let's see. Can we hear ourselves in Twitch? No, wait. Can we hear ourselves? Volume's all the way down. This thing's a little low. No, wait. Volume's all the way down. How about my system volume? Oh, that's all the way down. That's the problem. How about my system volume? That's it. Oh, that's all the way down. That's the problem. Okay, now let's go ahead. That's it. That's all. Take a look at YouTube again real quick. See if that fixed the problem entirely there. Oh my god, I need to get this tab. Let me just close it. I don't want to dry it out. Alright, alright, alright. And then we'll have to try that gain experiment again now that everything's where it's supposed to be. Alright, alright, alright. And then we'll have to try that gain experiment again now that everything's where it's supposed to. Yeah, I sound great on there. Now let's take this thing and turn it all the way down. And we're going to turn it up, and we're going to turn it up until it gets close to the red line. The louder I talk, the closer it gets to the red line. And I know this is some boring shit, but it's only going to last another second. It seems like this is almost there. Like when I hit the hard consonants, it peaks just into the red. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And this seems like almost perfect. Every once in a while, like it just goes just a little bit into the red. So now let's check out YouTube and see how it sounds. Every once in a while, like it just goes just a little bit into the red. So now let's check out YouTube and see how it sounds. Every once in a while, like it just all right, goes so just a little. Now let me see just when I'm talking normal and I'm not trying to push, you know. See how it sounds. All right, we're going to let that go. I'm going to go ahead and get my dab cleaning going for a second. As long as I have to wait. Oh, where'd my thing go? Did I blow my nose with it? No, there it is. All right, let's see. How does it sound? There it is. Oh, it sounds great. Yeah, this is probably way better than, all right, let's see. How does it sound? There it is. Oh, it sounds great. Yeah, that's probably better audio quality than it's been in a long time. It was clipping a lot. Every once in a while it'll clip now, but it should be a lot better. I need to get, well, I don't know if it's clipping. It's probably being limited. I should look and see if I have any kind of filter possibility on that. Got noise suppression. Yeah, we do have a limiter. Compressor. We got all kind of shit. I'm just going to throw the limiter on there. And the threshold, I, eh, I don't know. Is this? I don't know. How about this? I think if I do this, maybe it might keep it from going into the red. It doesn't look like. Oh no, it's just a little bit. I don't know if that's. Let me try adjusting that. Maybe turn this down to -1 decibel. That might. Let me see. Is it going into the red now? Well, I didn't select it. I'm not sure. How about if? Yeah, see, it still goes. Hey. How about now? Now does it go? Yes, it does. Shit. What if I turn that up? How about now? Now can I? Yes. Oh, that's right. There's a little slider. Where's that 6? Okay, how about now? Now does it go in the red? Just a little bit. Maybe not. It's limiting it more. It will just barely hit it. All right, I think that's probably awesome. Now what happens when we play shit? Oh, that's not even what I wanted to clean. That was just secondary. I wanted to clean off my dashboard. E-claim all over it. Yeah, we need to fix that track. Until we do, let's go ahead and loop this. That way we don't have to hear that again until we do something about it. Alright, we're gonna do dab, and then we're gonna fucking get in it. Oh man, that is good. You know, I should clean that too. As long as I'm not doing anything yet. Get it out of the way so it does not interrupt us later. Ooh, man, that is... Wow. Ooh, man. Fucking A. Eh. Mm. Woo-hee. Oh, you know what? I did not check what that sounds like with music going. I'll do one last spot check. Alright, let's see. How does it sound? Alright. Let's see. How does it sound? It sounds good. Alright. Let's see. How does it sound? It sounds good. Yeah, totally sounds good. I am in. We're done sound checking. We're done checking. We're done cross checking. Don't know if I'm ready to start yet, though. I think maybe like one more dab. Make sure I have my clean water. Cold water. Clean too, but man. We gotta fucking wrap this thing up. Taking entirely too long. Trying to think, I've probably been working on this for over a week. But I had a couple nights where like not a whole lot really happened despite my best efforts. I don't know if they were my best efforts, but I did try. I suck sometimes. Things are hard. All right. Let's see. What the fuck are we gonna do? I almost want to just fucking drag and drop that fucking. In fact, we probably should for at least one section. I mean, why fucking waste it? It's fucking right after the different section. We shouldn't really be introducing. Well, I mean, I guess we could introduce new material at that point, but like we're just trying to wrap this thing up quick. So it makes sense that we would maybe, use that for one of our sections. Probably like the chorusy section. Which one's like more high energy? Probably in here. What is this? That's just a copy of this. Before I tweaked it, maybe? Here, but there we go. Closer look at those. I'm trying to tell if they're the same. I don't think they are. I think I tweaked it. Maybe it is the same. It's long. It's not as long. Yeah, I must have done something to it. I wonder, is it this piece? No. Probably something to do with it. What? Eh. So that is close to that. I guess I did a little tweaking. Trying to think what would come after that in the drums so that it would match up. Where is the set pattern in the drum? It is right here, I think. Oh, too much. It's way more manageable on the vertical screen. Oh my god, I hated using the zoom and that bar, and like it is so much better now. And it's nice being able to have all the space to, really expand that down. This monitor setup, oh my god, it is amazing. If you fucking produce music and you're not using two 34-inch, gaming monitors with one vertical, fucking, you need to fucking get on it. Because, wow, it, like, really kind of, has been lending itself very well to getting a little bit better at this shit. Like, it really just upped my game almost instantly. Like, I started figuring things out that, like, I just have been so dense on. And the way that, Clip View interacts with Session View, it is just blowing my fucking mind. So what we want that out there. Copy. Oh, we gotta cut that off, I think. I think it's supposed to be like at that line, isn't it? Very first one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 down low, and it's the first up high. So yeah, it would be like there. Maybe, I wonder if we can reposition it a little bit so that it lines up. Or what we could do is we could just remove drums. No reason we have to fucking start on that fucking beat. We'll fucking jump in and fucking catch motherfuckers off guard. Be like, whoa, what? They probably won't. There's not gonna be no motherfuckers. This is fucking one of my first lame fucking songs that's gonna get buried in fucking hard drive. And like, if I ever get decent, I can like bust out and fucking people can laugh at me. Well, it won't be like buried on a hard drive. It'll be sitting on fucking YouTube. I'm not fucking taking it down. Yeah, it may pull a couple select things down, like nothing like for embarrassment. Like, I'm like doing a class now, and like, I may go back and pull a couple if I feel like maybe I was giving away too much of the guy's lessons or whatever, because I definitely appreciate the fucking level of detail the guy went into, and fucking lot of killer fucking information that's been transforming my shit. And you know what? That, I don't know, that's not really exactly the same. I think it's edited. I think that is maybe something that I haven't tweaked yet. What's going on in the other section that looks like that? Oh, every section looks like that. Yeah, I think maybe we need to like eliminate some of those core drums to try to maybe get things to massage their way in a little neater. I think that's probably the most pressing issue right now, aside from that noise. Actually, hmm, that doesn't matter. We need to just get our spots for the one that we want now. We'll worry about the other one later, because that's not where we want it. We want it in this spot. Come on, clicky click. What's happening? No! All right. Mm. So I don't know if I want to... Yeah, let's just pull it back real quick. We'll see that it's short. We'll remember that it has to come out. And we'll slide our thing right in there. Ooh. Let's maybe... There we go. I was going to consolidate it, but let's not consolidate it. We're just going to plop it right in there. And I think I did the wrong... Well, we're doing both spots. So let's pull this one back as well. We're gonna highlight this shit again. Oh, no, 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 no. Go this way. Eh. Try that. I think it sounds better in there. What would 8 bars be? Oh, eh. Hey, fucking taskbar, man. Why can't it just be normal? Alright. Oh, what? Huh? What is this shit? Undo. Undo. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? I wanted... Oh, yeah. Let's see how many... And I can't see up that high. Let's... Okay. Where is it? I can't... Where do I see that all the time? How many... Because that wouldn't make sense. Is it because of this, I guess? Where do I normally see that? It'll tell me how many bars are in the loop. How can I not find this? This is like basic bitch shit. What? Fuck. Come on. Where is it? I've done this before. What? Like all the time. It's like a key. Oh, there it is up here. Shit, man, I'm high. I haven't done any dabs in a while. That's probably it. Like I've done a couple, but not like good fresh stuff. It was kind of like I think my last like fresh one was probably about a week ago, so that's probably why the ones recently haven't been totally crushing me. Okay, where are we at? That is 11 bars. Huh. I did not expect that. That's a lot of bars. So we'd have to cut. Let's see how long that section was. Oop. Dirk, dirk. Ah, there we go. All right, now what were we doing? We were checking the length of that section. So we need. Oh shit, that will fit. I guess that's why it did fit. Thinking about just dropping that whole thing in there and then we'll blend the drums. But we would want to make it like probably 11 bars, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we could just slide it in. Add a little bit more so we take the drums with it. What would we want? Like, what if we. That's 12. Let's just listen to that. Oh shit, those drums are like totally different. Are they? They probably aren't. They're like the same thing, aren't they? I just fucking copy and paste that shit across for the most part. I think I maybe like tweaked a couple things. Let's see other ones. What if we... I hate this battery. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but... So now I'm wondering... if I can kind of fill that whole thing out with it. No, there's no more on the end of that. We could maybe even just... Why is this not right? Oh, I forgot to have my chat out. Where's my fucking chat again? I had it out, but then I like hooked something away. Hey, Iceberg! Shit, I hope you haven't been there too long. I just realized that, this is fucking kinda loud. Let me turn this guy right here. Cut him back a little bit. That's the one I was working on, so I had to kind of crank there a little bit. It's not exactly cool, but I can't believe like I made like that out of what I had going on there. It was like a real mess. Like, yeah, I'm sorry for leaving you hanging there, man. But how's it going? Yeah, this thing was fucking like the worst sound in the world. In fact, I think it's right here. That's not even as bad as it was. That's kind of like tamed down. I like made that. Let me see if I could even. And I just put it in there and like I didn't want to get rid of it like because I didn't have anything else good to put in. And I kept turning it off because it was so annoying and making jokes that, real quick at the end, once everything else is in place, then we'll turn it on for 5 seconds and go, bam, it's a song and we're done and it'll be garbage. And then somehow I fucking managed to turn that into this. Which isn't necessarily like the coolest groove in the world or anything, or like even cool like necessarily, but like I can't believe I managed to turn that garbage into something that like actually kind of like, you know, kind of works almost. Oh shit. How did oh yeah, solo. Like, what's going on? No, not that. Yeah. Versus and it was like longer than that. That's just like shortened. What am I doing? I suppose I should probably be doing that. Yeah, those sections are far from done necessarily, but they kind of work as sections. Now I gotta figure out something to do for these sections that doesn't sound as trashy as it currently does. Ooh, one thing I could do. Oh, I did take that off. It's already. Maybe it was this one I had. Oh no, I took them both off. I was smart. But yeah, I'm surprised I made that work. And then my drop section, I don't know, it's kind of. I don't know if it's really a drop. Maybe a breakdown. I think we might need to make that section a little bit longer. But things are starting to come along. The thing I should look at is if the drums are lining up the same in both sections, because I've been kind of fudging some shit here and there. Because if not, I could probably go ahead and line them up. No, that looks like they line up just the same. Sweet. Yep, perfect. Perfect. There it is. God, my fucking mic. I've been so good about turning it back on lately. But, yeah, now I need to figure out something for this other section. I thought I had the vibes for both sections established until I came up with this, and it's like, whoa, that, like, sounds like professional and shit. Not like professional, but, like, it sounds like music and shit. Okay, other section, other section. Let's see what we can do. That is such a short one. You know, maybe we should go to the other one. It might be longer. you know, what if we just go ahead and ditch that? Let's take the other section that we made and try to turn it into something that fits in there. Like maybe... How many sections do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sections. So we will up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What about 1, 2, or yeah, I think that might match. It's too long. We'll go ahead and bring it back. And we're gonna do the and the almost. Let's go ahead and try to get a little bit more precise. I think we can do this. In fact, maybe let's just flip. Alright, all of it's on the screen at once. The Alt. Oh my god, does it fit? It fucking... Now we need to turn it into something that sounds like a different section. Does not match up with the drums at all. Doesn't matter. We're gonna make it fit. We might change the drums up a bit too. So, what are we gonna do? Is this all one piece? Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh. So now I want to find that clip. Bang. Now we want to find a way to... Why am I not getting the other options? Oh, what? Let me undo a couple things, maybe. And we'll redo that. Why can't I change the fucking timing? I don't even know the word. What's the thing? There it is, the BPM. The thing with the music stuff. Oh, we want to do double. Feeling different. I'm wondering if maybe if I mix some short ones in with it. You know what? I really wish it would let you edit audio in this window the way it does with MIDI. Like if I could copy and paste this kind of shit, but it doesn't let you do that. I've even tried just using the keyboard shortcuts for it, and it doesn't let you do it. What you can do, it's pretty sweet though, is just being able to go like that and, you know, highlight it up in here and get it. Oh shit, hey DJ Silence. Hey, not bad. This one's actually like kind of sounding like a little bit more like music. I still kind of was feeling like I was cheating a little bit because like really been like pressing to try to, get better at I guess what it would be ultimately is like audio sound design. Like, you know, really was just having trouble, trying to do stuff which is strictly audio. So I was really kind of hammering on myself, but and the same was kind of true starting this one, and it kind of was sounding like garbage, and I was kind of like hating on it, and I actually kind of managed to turn it into like something that doesn't sound like total crap. Oh yeah, you heard? Okay, cool. Yeah, I have one sound in there. I just kept, like every time I would turn it on, I'd like make the joke, be like, "We're just gonna leave that off," and at the end, real quick before the song's done, we're just gonna turn it on. We're not even gonna listen to it. We're just gonna say song's done. It was so annoying. And I actually managed to get it like kind of not like garbagey. I mean, I guess it's probably bad, but like, yeah, that I don't know. I don't think I have so much of a problem with that. I think maybe like my issue is, like I would want to not just like use like standard sounds like I don't want to just like be like, oh yeah, I just like slowed it down a little, so I changed it and it's like mine. So I think I like was maybe going a little out of my way to push, harder than I necessarily needed to, at the level I was at because of that. And I tend to maybe push stuff a little too far until it was like garbage. And I guess it just took me a while to really do it, but I actually managed to get some decent shit going. Like not decent, but like significant improvement over prior work going. Yeah, I don't know if you here I'll put on that god awful sound I was telling you about. I still haven't gotten rid of it entirely. I was actually about to try to chip find something to make it not as bad, but put it on warp because that's how I had it for the longest time, and it was like even worse. Yeah, this fucking we'll even solo it just to like make it like definitely stand out how terrible it was is. And it just would drone on. It was fucking terrible. I was like, we'll figure out something later. And I actually managed to turn it into it's this section here. Or no, I didn't mess with that one enough yet. That one's still kind of garbagey. They're both kind of garbagey. This one sounds like kind of musical. But yeah, like when like I told you when I started that class, like I think since I've started that class, I've been, maybe capable. Like I kind of was when I started the class, I had been kind of priming myself to get into arrangement view because prior I had really used session view and really kind of poorly. I had like a kind of poor understanding of how a lot of that worked. And so I was really, looking to get into that. I had just studied, like, spent a lot of time looking into song structure because that was one of my weak points. And like I was kind of at the point where I was trying to experiment with like chords more, and so it's like I was kind of like on the edge of breaking through on some of this stuff. I had a pretty good understanding of like standard song structures, not necessarily like fancy shit, but and when I started the course, like the first thing was with audio editing being the core skill, and like So like from the beginning, I've been really trying to focus on that, like because I have a decent understanding of synths. I'm not an expert, but I could pick up any random synth and start like noodling around a little bit, but never really recorded a whole lot. So like even once I got like the basic audio editing down, like I still kind of felt like I was cheating. Like I feel like I should be able to flip and do shit like that. Like so it's like I think I was really kind of I don't know, maybe holding myself back a little bit, but like I was really trying to focus on that a lot. And with these last couple songs that have come out, all of them have not come out of that. They have come out of using a synth or some kind of sequencer to, sequence a couple samples and then from there editing those things. And on the last couple, until this, I haven't really felt like I really did anything, like I just kept felt like most of that was like, different levels of failure, which is probably the wrong way to look at it. If it was somebody else, I'd be like, no, wait, dude, that's awesome. But always hardest on yourself and whatnot. But yeah, this project here, that particular thing I just showed you with that noise is, and that's not like necessary. Like I've known the things that I could do to do that, and like I've seen stuff like that, but like that's the first time like I've managed to just like, and it's kind of so now I'm and not just with that, with other a couple other things that were going on with this project. That one fucking weird other kind of voice thing going in the background that worked out well. I was kind of thinking that was like a little bit trashy, and I like got some side chaining, some practical actual side chaining with a little bit fancier than just ducking a kick drum, like actually like more sound design, like I guess that's sound design, but oh, not really failure, just like fucking like, oh yeah, that's not like really good. Like I would never like put that in my playlist kind of. Like just not as good as, I would like to be. I don't know. Like I don't know. I guess I could maybe like pull up some like crap. I guess this would be like a perfect explanation. Like, well, they're not perfect because I've definitely done worse. But that fucking I would like if I sat up like some nights I'd sit up for like 6 hours and like that would be like the best thing I would come up with. And like that I would be like I would feel at the end of the night like that was a failure. If somebody else did it, I would definitely not say, something like that. Oh yeah, I actually still have stuff from probably not like when I first started because I've been at it for like maybe 10 years. And when I first started, like, I don't want to say I wasn't taking it seriously, but I never imagined that I would get like good. It was like, oh, I heard that, this is how Deadmau5 makes his music was on Ableton. And so I was like a torrent guy. I was like, hey, I can get fucking Ableton 8 on fucking whatever I was downloading on at the time. And fucking, I was like, I'm good at computers. I'll figure it out. And I didn't know nothing about music. And I remember like after screwing with, I didn't watch any videos. I just would try to screw around and play with the little balls and the lines. And I had no idea what I was doing. I don't even, it took me forever to even figure out like audio clips and MIDI clips and like how to even get sounds. I remember like telling my buddy after like spending a ton of time looking at him like, I don't get it, man. He's got all these balls and circles and it's all fucking high tech and shit, but I'm gonna figure it out. And eventually I broke down and started like watching some videos and shit. Yeah, I probably first got like more serious about it like I don't know, probably like 5 to 7 years ago, something. But I used to do a lot of snowboarding and motorcycling, and I guess towards the end there, some powerlifting, and like snowboarding was getting expensive, and my knees were, not necessarily the best. I was like, hey, maybe this would be a good time to exit some of these other things. And I had already downloaded the Ableton 8, and, like, I was like, oh, I love music. That would be something that, I could spend a lot of time doing when I get older, and I'm not going to, have to worry about, crippling myself or whatever. And fucking and at the time, I thought, I shouldn't have to spend a ton of money, which I guess you don't, but I did. I think most people probably do that if I can actually get somewhat serious about it. Yeah, that was actually a big part of what I've been, kind of would be struggling with and feeling like I was failing at too, was coming up with melodies. Like, but when I started, like, when I first got serious about it, I got, into like, at first, of course, the drum kits and, and some instruments, but not too much. And then once I got into synths, and playing melodics, I thought that that would help. And I think it probably did a pretty decent bit, like as far as just being able to keep time and being able to actually like hear, what a lot of what's going on. Yeah, I try to not spend too much these days either, but I think at one point, like, I was getting a lot of overtime, so I had decent money coming in for a minute, and I kind of like tried to like they call it gas, gear acquisition syndrome. I'd like tried to weaponize gas. It's like, okay, I'm gonna buy all this shit, and if I've got it staring me in the face every day, I am gonna figure out how to use it. I'm not gonna sit here and like not know how to use all this fucking awesome shit. I actually used Scalar on this project. I don't know if I still have that up. I used Scalar to make something in here. I ran my Scalar into Serum and made this MIDI. I'm not sure what I've got going on in there. Let me solo that. I think I deleted the Scalar track because I was starting to use up a decent bit of my processor. But yeah, I actually used Scalar to come up with a couple of these MIDI dealies here. Let me solo this. Let's see what the hell's going on in there. Oh, I think I got to turn Serum back on. I got it off to save. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, that's the bass there. Yeah, that's awesome. I saw some teacher comment online said something about, people say, "Oh, it must be nice to have summers off," and they'd be like, "Yeah, it must be nice to get paid in the summer." Yeah, I'm definitely going to be spending pretty much my whole summer in the studio. I've been having a lot of breakthroughs these last couple weeks, and actually, I think like I chalk a lot of it up to the new training because I've been doing a lot of studying, and it's like really good material. Like I've heard a lot, but like uh, but this shit's like really been doing me a lot of good. And actually, like I was actually like not doing too well with it for a while there. And then about a month ago, actually, I kind of I don't know, kind of a little good, little bad news, kind of. I I put in an email at work during feedback week, job I'd been at for about 13 years, inspecting like aerospace parts and stuff, and I put in an email with a bunch of serious ethical and safety concerns, and And I wasn't really very nice about it. I was kind of like, kind of crude about it a bit. But it's also not, the first time those things have been brought up, and like it's getting to be like gross incompetence level kind of shit. And I ended up getting fired. So it actually, like, I don't know. Like, it's a little disappointing because I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it wasn't that great of a job. I was only making like, 20 bucks an hour, like 21 bucks an hour after 13 years. And I had like a lot of certifications, and, it was like heavy duty work. Like, I was like the last guy that would touch parts that would go onto GE aircraft, and they wouldn't even be, looked at after they touched my hands. I was the only guy in the building allowed to do it. But yeah, like a yearly survey thing, like, and I didn't just do it in the survey. I put some choice stuff in the survey, but like I sent an email, and I sent it all around the building and told other people that they should like say stuff if they see stuff. And I kind of suspected that things might go down. I prepared, like, before I did any of that, I made sure that I had all the stuff that I wanted at my house. So that I didn't have to worry about, just being escorted out or whatever, which I didn't think would happen. I figured they might try to push me out over it because they're, it's corporate greed and whatnot, and they don't want to hear what they don't want to hear. But I figured that if they were going to do that, that it would take them 6 months to do it. Nope. I sent the email on Friday, like 10 minutes before I left for work. Next day, on Monday when I went into work, I, uh, I didn't even check my email. I just started working on the part I was working on. It's like it would take about a day and a half to do these parts. And I just, started my routine in the morning working on the part. And after, I got, a little bit more woken up, because I was just doing some cleaning stuff at first. And I went and checked my email. Luckily, I did at that time. I think it was like 7 o'clock. And they wanted a spontaneous meeting at like 8. So I had like a half hour to get ready for the meeting, and they had the manager that's, new, that is a nice guy, that guy, and the new head guy in the building. I don't know what they call him. He's not a CEO, and the HR manager. And yeah, I called out like a lot of people by name in there for like serious stuff, and yeah, I guess they didn't like it. It wasn't even just being tired of their shit. It was like there were serious compliance issues. Like I worked on like, I don't know. I got to be a little careful about how much I say because of, what you call it, the you can't talk about it. But like there's, a certain degree that I can say is, they were, we work with nuclear and aerospace and medical and like highly, highly sensitive stuff. And when I started there, you know, when this company started, back in the day, there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened, and like a lot of stuff that shouldn't have happened. And when I started there, it was kind of like on its road to redemption. There was a manager there doing good things. And like at first we kind of clashed because he was like an old school jerky kind of manager. But eventually he realized that, I wasn't, some douchebag or whatever. And we like developed a lot of systems and things improved. And then he got hurt shortly before COVID and never ended up coming back. And things are like devolving into chaos. And I'm kind of glad to not be a part of it. It was getting to the point like they were like trying to pressure me into like stuff, and like it would never fucking fly. And it was starting to get to the point where they would just bypass me and start pressuring other people into things that they didn't realize that they were, putting themselves in spots that they shouldn't be, that things that can happen, and it was at the point like I was doing the music. Before I started the music thing, I was planning on just leaving. I'd written a sample email a couple times, but I was like, I should just go. It's like this is never gonna fly. And then I think through the music thing, I was getting a little bit frustrated with that. And I think that that maybe helped push me over the edge at work. And I think that that was probably a good thing for like my mental, shit. It was at the point that I would be putting in earplugs when these people would come in the room and be like pressuring this 80-year-old man into, doing things faster than they're supposed to be done by even, the regular. I Well, I thought that they wouldn't do anything that fast, and I just kind of was at the point where I didn't care. Like I said, I think that I was getting frustrated with the music stuff because I was having such a hard time. I was pretty much strictly trying to do melodies, with audio editing and flipping, style kind of shit. And also, was really having a really hard time wrapping my head around mixing and, like not necessarily like complex mixing, just like some techniques that I'd been learning. And I think that that frustration, you know, like I think the work thing was riding on my shoulder the whole time. I think before I started the music program, I was just going to leave. And then I thought, well, you know what? I'm starting a music program. They're not going to, I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to keep my earplugs in and I'm going to do my 12-week program and, bam. And I didn't get through the 12-week program the way most people do because I guess I'm a kind of a stubborn jerk a little bit, maybe. And kind of was hanging up on a couple things that I was having trouble with. And like I said, I think it just kind of all compounded one day, and it was that feedback week, and surveys in by the end of the week, and I was like, I'll give them a fucking survey, and I'm not sweating it. I mean, like, I don't have a ton of money sitting around, but I have a little bit more money in my bank account than I owe my credit cards, and I have a favorable living situation, so I don't, have a big outlay every month. So I applied for unemployment. I'm looking for work, but I'm not really too pressured now. I'm awaiting, try to be a little bit selective. Hopefully the unemployment comes through, which I should find out this week or next week. And if worst case scenario, it starts getting to the point where I got to hurry up and get something, I can always, it's not going to be hard to find a job in a restaurant where I can make $15 an hour. I was only making $21 an hour. So it's like not like gonna be that hard to replace in this day and age. I've heard people working at Walmart and Target and Sam's Club for fucking $20 an hour. So yeah, I talked to a lawyer and he seemed to think that they could probably get away with letting me go. But they'll, with the contingency that they should probably have to pay unemployment. Caffeine for the creative mind. I think I've heard about that. I think I remember. I've spent a lot of time in the what would you call it? My slang way to say it would be the Tom Bill UE kind of community. I don't know, what do they call it? The growth mindset whole scene or whatnot. Yeah, I can't remember too much about that, but that feels like a very familiar title. Let me actually just punch it into my browser. I'll have to check that out later. I do think I've heard of that one. In fact, the music program I'm going through right now is actually like very heavily steeped in a lot of growth mindset and philosophy stuff. That's actually one of the reasons I like picked it. Like I've been, in the kind of in the market and like knowing that I need to get some like real, training. And this comes with like, live lessons that I haven't utilized yet. But it's really, really good material. Like part of my problem is that like I'm so analytical and like like, and another part of my issue that I think that I had getting through this a little bit is that I knew I had the work thing on the back burner, and I was like trying to get through it, kind of quick, but at the same time, like thinking, I'm not really sure where I'm going next. I don't know if I'm going to have money for like continuing lessons. So like I want to make sure I like really kind of have a good framework for the material before I do the live lesson, to work further, cuz I don't know. I've always kind of suspected maybe I had ADHD or was on the spectrum or something. Like, I always like have a hard time communicating if I don't like have a somewhat understanding of the framework or whatever. And it's like I don't want to go into these lessons and just like if I haven't absorbed, it's one thing to like go in and not like get all the material, but like to go in and like feel like like I barely got a grasp on it, like are they just going to sit there and just like recite the same stuff that's in the thing when I could just go back through the material again and then come back when I understand it a little better and actually be able to you know utilize it a little more. Oh, okay, that's actually a pretty cool idea. I've been doing a lot of journaling. That was one of the things that they recommend in the class that I'm doing, and I was a little bit reluctant to do it, not because like I didn't want to, but like it was just like more time out of my day, and I have a hard time sleeping, and it was like I got to get up early and like do this journaling. It wasn't a requirement that you get up early, but that's the way he did it, and like honestly, it was the only way I was going to fit it into my day. Yeah, I actually didn't get the awesome part until after I lost my job. It was like I'd been doing it and I'd have a hard time doing it with negative stuff. Like sometimes like I would try to remember when I would start to think negative shit, be like, "Okay, try to remember to pick it up." And I would and I'm not just, going to repeat the same shit that's in my head that's been going a million times, and I try to be creative with it, and nothing. And like I said, most of the time when I do it in the morning, and when I wake up, I'm fucking garbage in the morning for an hour or two until like I get to work and do my mundane stuff in the morning while I warm up. But but then after I got fired, there was one night where I couldn't sleep and fucking. And normally when I can't sleep and it's late at night, you only have so much time for sleep. You lay there and you try to fucking sleep. And it was like for like the first week, and I couldn't sleep, and I'm like, I should get up and journal or whatever. Maybe try it. I did. It was the first time it occurred to me. It's like I don't got nothing to get up for. I just get up and journal. And I have a ring light up here that I use for my stream. And when I turned it on, I accidentally hit the button that had like the flashing red, green, blue lights, and it was enough to see. And I just kind of like wrote with it, and like didn't feel like I was at a rave or nothing, but I kind of like got a vibe from back in the day when I'd be partying a little bit, and like I don't know, my mind just kind of drifted off into just random shit, and like I probably filled like 12 pages, and then like for like a week, like every night, like it would be like that. And now it's like I'm having some days where it's not flowing quite as much, but yeah, I've definitely since I lost my job, I've been having a lot of stuff pan out here. Actually, it hasn't been it even when it was going, it hasn't been helping me sleep. I've got a myriad of things right now. I think part of my issue is I've been having issues with sleep for a while, but I didn't realize how little I was actually sleeping until I was going through the music class and trying to squeeze stuff into my schedule. And I think that I have a root problem of sleep apnea. I knew that I was having trouble sleep. I was writing it off as like the prostate thing. I'd just pee and be like, "Yeah, I'm getting old." Guy, this happens to guys once they get to like 40 or whatever. But after the music thing, and I really started keeping tabs because I get good at laying there and just not thinking anything, and it kind of feels like you're asleep. but once the music thing started happening and like I couldn't stop taking my afternoon nap, and I tried doing 5 hour energies so I could stay up and do a longer session and then sleep, and then I still wouldn't be able to sleep. And after a lot of experimenting and observation, I realized that I, even at my best, I was probably only getting 4 hours of sleep every night, you know? And so like I like started, and I think it might have even been less than that. It might have been more like 3. And then I decided, like, you know what I need to do is I just need to lean into that nap really hard. And I started observing, and like my afternoon nap, I couldn't sleep for more than 2 hours, maybe like, depending, maybe a little bit longer. And like I'm pretty sure I wasn't getting any more sleep whenever I would go to sleep later at night. And I decided, that's what I was going to do. And then I quit streaming the games. I tried to stick with the games because I didn't want to give up. That's like the only other thing I do. And so I really didn't want to give that up just for that. And the streaming, because I didn't want to put out garbage music. That was one of the reasons I quit streaming music, was because nothing was really improving. And it was getting bad. Like I would have had to change the channel's name, or the stream name, to like Sad Old Man Plays Car Soccer or something. Yeah, I'm gonna start going to the gym. If I had more money, I would do it. I almost just bought a CPAP. I saw one used on Craigslist. I almost bought it, and I was like, eh. But but yeah, I'm definitely want to get a sleep study done too. But I want to, in the meantime, I want to start going to the gym here. I still got my membership. But where was I? Oh yeah, on the sleep thing. But eh, I don't know. But yeah, I think in general, I've been, oh, yeah, a lot of things contributing. I think that, and I think the music thing and the not going well was contributing. And now that it's going well, the going well is contributing, because sometimes it's not laying up, thinking about, stuff like it, like, but now it kind of is. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, that, like, I still can't, like last night, like I'm trying to sleep. Like I sat up for like an hour and a half journaling and ate breakfast before I like went to bed, and like I still couldn't go to sleep. I did get a late nap today though. That's why my voice is good. You ever hear me and my voice is all shitty, it's because I haven't been sleeping well. Took me a long time to figure that out too. I kept like thinking it was because I smoked for 30 years. I quit like 5 years ago. So, the smoking's catching up with me. I'd try to like drink things to coat my throat, and and nothing would work. And then one day when it was actually with the music stuff, and I realized with the napping, and like I was like, dude, I took a nap, and like all of a sudden my voice is like brand new. Like, so yeah, I've been, discovering a lot of shit out about myself in the last couple weeks. It's been pretty decent. And the apnea thing, the only reason I figured that out, that I think I figured that out, because I'm not sure of it yet, is my tax guy. And that was another thing that happened too. I've been noticing I've been having a lot of the same experiences over and over again, and not realizing them until they're over. Like when I left my tax guy, I realized I had the same exact conversation with him as I did the year prior. Exactly, every single word. And the sleep apnea thing too. And we talked about, sleep, and he mentioned the apnea, and he said, changed my life. I got the CPAP. Maybe I should get tested. And like I left him later, I thought about it. We had that same exact conversation last year. I never got tested. I never did this other thing. I paid the same, and then like a week later, I had a dentist appointment, and the exact same shit happened at the dentist. And I didn't realize it till it was over. So it was like, a lot of stuff has been kind of building. I've been kind of wanting to leave that job for like a couple years now too. It was kind of like at the point for a while where like that other manager left. I was kind of like shadow managing the place for a long time, and like my grip on that was tenuous, because it's like a big fucking place, and like I'm not like stupid or nothing, but I'm not fucking like built for fucking, that dude like managed the whole fucking building. Like, it's amazing he did what he did. It's actually why he got fucking ended up leaving, because he was fucking trying to do too much lunch and fucking everybody was out of the fucking area and he was trying to do stuff that, he would never be doing, climbing shelves and moving buckets, and ended up falling and hurting his head and ended up out for, he tried coming back, but it didn't work out and he ended up getting workman's comp forever or something, or settlement. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I looked into it. There's a place by me. I was actually going to do it right before that shit all happened at work. I like had looked into the place, and like to do it there was like 2 grand in their place, but they had a cheaper option if you took it home. And I've got an HSA card with a little bit of money on it, but like I said, with the unemployment, I think I should probably give it a minute. Plus, I think the exercise might be enough for me because I'm somewhat in shape, and it was only like 4 years ago. Like I was like working out and in really good shape, and I was having trouble sleeping then, but it wasn't from any sleep apnea. The only reason I was having trouble sleeping then was because I was working out so hard. It was like all I would do, like if I wasn't on my motorcycle or my snowboard, I was in the gym for like 4 hours a night and I was powerlifting and I was, I'd come home and I'd be all fucking jacked up. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd play melodics for like 2 hours and then like play video game and then try doing music production. I'd try to sleep, but I wouldn't be able to sleep just because I was still just so fucking pumped from the gym. I'd fucking lay awake all night. And I used to sleep really well, but oh yeah, yeah, like the fitness tracker kind of thing almost. I had a thing on my phone a long time ago that would do that, and I was gonna try it out, but then I remembered I've got a memory foam mattress, so it's not gonna be able to sense anything anyways. Except what it might sense, what I should do, is set it up to record and see if I can hear myself gasping. The big reason I think that it is, I never used to have trouble sleeping, and I would wake up in the middle of the night all the time to pee, and I would go right back to sleep. And the reason that it makes sense that it's sleep apnea to me is that would be why I wouldn't fall back asleep, because my body like is like, hey, you just almost fucking died. Like, don't go back to sleep right now. Like, breathe, breathe. Yeah, I've got kind of bad sinuses myself too. I've been meaning to try to get checked for polyps. I know I've heard a couple guys at work, would find out that they had polyps and they'd get them removed, and all of a sudden they could breathe like a normal person. And I'd hear that and I'd be like, I'd like to breathe like a normal person. I've actually been meaning to go to a proper allergist too. I take Claritin D. I don't know if I had allergies when I was a kid because I did a lot of drinking and drugs, and so I didn't really know what you were supposed to really feel like for a long time. But and as a kid, I don't know if I really had it like as a young kid. It's hard to even remember some of that shit. Most of those memories are like memories of memories at this point. Yeah, I've definitely there's a few things I've been wanting to get checked out. Yeah, the allergies, get checked for polyps, get the sleep apnea test done. I need to start going to the gym. I was going to start today. I was going to take a couple of old printers up to this recycling thing. And I was going to stop at the gym on the way back. And I wasn't going to like go all out. I was just going to like make sure my membership card still worked. It had been a long time since I've been there. And just maybe go in and just like get on the elliptical for 5 minutes and just look around, see what's going on, and not get all sweaty. Don't plan on like, just kind of get used to going again, just scope it out, make sure it's not like full of a bunch of sick people, falling on top of each other. Yeah, where I'm at, the full study looks like it costs like about 2 grand, and I think the take it home stuff I think is like supposed to be like maybe in the hundreds. I think they were a little bit vague on that. Like they said, oh, if you want cheaper options, we do have take home tests. They didn't really get into detail if it was like a wearable, or I imagine it would have to be a wearable in this day and age. Almost everybody's probably sleeping on memory foam at this point. When I go to Sam's Club, that's all I see. Or them weird, other purple mattresses. I don't know what they do, what their deal is. But yeah, I definitely if my sleep doesn't naturally come back from exercise in the next couple weeks, I'm definitely going to be looking into the sleep study. If I was employed right now in any capacity, I would probably go get one done because, like I said, I have an HSA card and I haven't spent any money on that since I had my LASIK done, and that was like at least 5 years ago. So there's probably a couple grand on the card, but considering I'm unemployed and considering that I'm, used to that ailment or whatever, and I don't particularly need to be sleeping well right now, I think that it's probably a good idea to wait and see if the unemployment goes through first. Because if I have to hustle and get something quick, I might not really be making a ton of money. And if an emergency comes by, I might need that HSA money. But once I got a job that I'm making at least $15 an hour at, I'm definitely gonna be and I'm not sleeping well. I'll definitely be getting an evaluation for that. Yeah, like I said, ever since I did my taxes this year, I've been meaning to do it. And if I hadn't been in the music thing, I probably would have. But like I was like, really putting like all my time into that. Like any spare minute I had, my buddy be trying to get me to hang out. I'd be like, no, he got all mad at me. It was kind of funny in a way because it was like a week before that happened. I stopped by his house to give him his birthday gift. His birthday's in like March, and I had been trying to give him his gift for like the longest time, and he could never meet up. And finally, one day, like I was after work, and like or no, I did it the day before. I said, hey, you want me to stop by? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I ended up like hanging out there for a couple hours. It was the first time we like really talked in a while, and then it was like a couple weeks later, he bought me my gift, and my birthday's in the middle of the summer, and like he wanted to give it to me like immediately when he got it. I guess he was excited because it was an awesome shirt. It was a Simpsons shirt. If you ever saw the episode where Homer had a grunge band in the '90s called Sadgasm, and they were like Nirvana or whatever, he got me a Sadgasm shirt, and I guess he was excited to give it to me. And he texted me like on like three separate occasions, like late at night when I usually eat and go straight into music after work. And like if I do anything, I do it before I eat. And like I don't don't hit any vapes or anything until I start, because I don't want to like show up and be all and he'd like always be hitting me up late and try to get me to come out and like party or whatever, and be like, no dude, I'm not coming out late. And like he I don't know, he like kind of lost it a little bit. He's like, I'll just mail you your gift. I'm like, dude, don't get like that, man. And then it was like a week after that I got fired. Or well, I guess at first they didn't fire me. We had a meeting and we talked about everything, and they tried to play it off like one of the things wasn't a big deal, and I had a false certification. I could probably say that. And like not me, like somebody else certified something that was very sensitive that like should not have been certified, and like they were not a person that's even like allowed to do that. They probably didn't know, at the time it was probably an innocent mistake, but like it was like kind of a big deal thing, and like it's technically criminal, you know and they were like trying to like play it off like it like wasn't a thing. I was like, listen, it's one thing to like say that you don't want this guy to be in trouble, and I get that, but like this is something that as a company, you got to look at or whatever. and they're like just trying to like play it off, but like they're looking at the top of this thing the whole time, and at the bottom it says the thing about it being criminal, and it's actually kind of like spaced out, like kind of obvious. And like I was like, can you like maybe like scroll down on that like just a little bit? They scroll down to the bottom, and it's like blown up so big on the wall that it just stands out like a sore thumb. And I kind of like turn back to the room, and like it's just like awkwardly silent. And then they say, well, what we're gonna do here is we're going to send you home for a week, and we're going to pay you, and we're going to talk to you sometime next week. We're going to do an investigation. And I thought I was coming back to work. I did think it was going to take them probably like 6 months at best, because they had to build a record. I was there for 13 years. I was a model employee. They like fired their lead inspector, who was old when COVID happened, and like I had been doing all the major stuff even before that. Like I was like the go-to guy. So it's like they in 13 years they had one single write-up on me that they claimed that they had no choice but to make. But I think that they were trying to put me in my place, because people there were kind of like pushovers and like don't really know what they're supposed to do, and what, how they're allowed to stop things that they don't feel are proper, even if they're not wrong. Like in the industry and position, where we're at, you as a worker, have a lot of authority that they can't just, do certain things certain ways. They can do a lot to sweep shit up under the rug after the fact, but like in the moment, like you have a lot of power. And so I think that they were trying to get me for that, because they tried writing me up for some like timekeeping thing too, like not punching in on jobs and record keeping or something, like for their pay purposes. And I'm like, I'm not signing that, and I wouldn't sign it. And they got all mad. I was like, I'm talking to a lawyer. I was like, and they're like, well, you have to sign it. And I was like, oh, okay, show me some proof of that. And the only thing they got me on was there was another employee who's kind of a jerk, who he, just kind of like he would do pranks on you, and if you didn't like laugh, he would like be like, oh, and like he'd get like kind of mean, and just kind of a jerky guy, kind of guy. Like I always tried to be cool with him because he seemed cool. He's like into like metal and heavy metal at my age. He seemed like somebody that I would have known in high school and been drinking with or something. But I guess he asked to use my spot at one point in time, and like I said, I'm like the primary inspector in a big shop. We had a big room, and like it's like the prime real estate of inspecting stuff, and I do large 8-foot large parts. So it's like uh you know he like asked to use my spot. He's like, yeah, just make sure when you're done that you get your stuff out of there and you move your chair. And he's the guy that'll, just to screw with you, he'll leave his stuff up there and like push the chair in, instead of putting it back the way it's supposed to be, you know. And so he did that. So I moved his stuff, and I got rid of the chair entirely because I hated that chair. There was like 30 chairs in that room, and that one always like would ride in the aisle. So I like took it, and I took that chair and like two other chairs, and I shoved them in a closet somewhere where nobody else knew where they were. And I left a note with his stuff at another table with a different chair. It was actually nicer. And the note said, please, use this area in the future when you need to, the area. It wasn't rude at all. But, he worked at the place longer in a different capacity. He was not an inspector. He was a development guy. And I was an inspector. And this was in the inspection room. And like the development area was somewhere else. And admittedly, they didn't have the room that we had. So we would, let them use some of our areas sometimes. But that one day he wanted to use my cushy spot, and, I figured he kind of, rib me a little bit, and I you know, didn't chuckle with him or whatever. So he decided to go to HR, and he used that phrase you used, the hostile work environment. And that was what the HR lady told me, because I kept trying to like get my way out of that too. She's like, listen, I like you. If there's any, I'd like to help you, but he said hostile work environment, and there's nothing that I can do. I have to do something. And I was like, okay, and I still refused to sign. I'm still talking to a lawyer first. I knew that signing it wasn't an admission of guilt, but I wanted them to know that if you try to screw me, I am litigious. Litigious, I guess, is actually the proper pronunciation. Oh, I did blow the criminal whistle. I blew all the whistles. Yeah, I had reported stuff before outside of the company as well. I was always afraid to really like when the old school manager was there. We did things right. It stopped with him, and we did things right. And once he left, for a long time, there was an inspection manager that was he. They kind of boxed him out of that area, but he still had authority there, but only in an inspection quality. And it felt a lot like this place tried to take the managers in positions of responsibility and remove them from the supervisory, capacity that they're supposed to, you know, they're trying to turn these people into data machines far removed from the work. And then they're trying to ride on these employees who don't understand what they're doing in the name of expediting and, getting things done that shouldn't be done. Like there's no direct, oh, this person's doing this, and this, but like there's like this pattern of behaviors, not necessarily behaviors, these patterns of streamlining and filtering that are really people in the restaurant industry a lot of times will be like, after I worked in the restaurant industry, it gets real weird going out to eat sometimes, and like after working in like these sensitive industries, like, it's a little fucking creepy and weird. Like it's like you people are affected by like this stuff too. Like you go to doctors and ride on planes, and like you live next to these nuclear facilities too. Like don't you, like well, like I said, it wasn't really paying well after all. Like I went in, a trained machinist with, certifications, in the National Institute of Metalworking Standards. And I had about 15 years experience in manufacturing outside of machining, like in woodwork and granite and stone and, a lot of that stuff. And like I came fresh out of machining school and programming CNCs. And so like I went in with a lot of, gravitas. I had worked in quality before, not in a machinist shop, but like in a wood shop. We did countertops, and I started off, like doing the saws and cutting, and or actually no, I did start. It wasn't an inspection, but it was like the step that inspection works in, and eventually inspection, and then moved to doing like more complex, math oriented, cutting and shit. But so it's like I went in with a lot of experience, and like I went in as a temp, and it was not supposed to last long. I was making like $11 an hour, like 13, 14 years ago, which was not great, but not horrible for someone just kind of coming out of school. Like I had a lot of work experience, but like, and I can't really say too much about what they do, but like they didn't do a lot of machining there. And there was a couple machinists there, but they didn't do a lot. And I remember like getting in, and like it's a big name company, like oh, it's not owned by the same people, but like the name that it had, like, I expected that there was going to be a lot of like machinists like actually like doing milling and lathing, but like it wasn't really that kind of shop. But I remember like when I started, like, oh, maybe I'll be able to get in as a machinist. Like I'll be able to like make a connection here. And I didn't plan on staying long. And, I ended up, you know, getting sucked into another area to do some crap work one day, like cleaning parts in, mineral spirits and lacquer thinner and kind of shit. And I wouldn't wear gloves, and that was fucking horrible. I should have been wearing fucking gloves for like 3 months because I thought, oh, this is temporary. I'm not worried about it. And eventually I realized, like, this isn't temporary. And then I didn't even, ended up getting, starting inspecting a lot of these parts. And like I said, I didn't expect to stay there. And like eventually, when that other manager was there, he didn't want to give me the raise. But I like broke down one day after like 5 years. Like, dude, I need to be making like more money. And like he didn't want to give it to me, but there was a guy above him that I thought would be sympathetic. And I was like, listen, let's just go talk to him for like, let's just see. Let me plead my case because he was technically above him, even though he was kind of new. And like that dude knew I was getting ripped. Everybody there knew I was getting ripped off. But that manager, he was, kind of a company man. Like as much as we worked together, he was a company man. And I kind of got like myself a nice bump up to like I think they gave me 1260. I told them I needed 15 or I was just gonna flee the country. Like not the country, the state. I was like, I got a buddy that lives in North Carolina on the beach. He said I could move down there. And my manager thought that he could, maybe hedge things a little more. And this guy, I think they got me up. He's like, listen, we're gonna get him, this. They got me to like 1560 within 3 months. And then at a later point, I ended up getting a nice little raise out of that manager guy. I went to him again like 2 years later the same way. I was like, listen, dude, I told you I wanted, more before. I was like, with everything going on, I need more. He fought me tooth and nail, but he got me another chunk. And then more time went by and I went for another one. And they like boxed me out. They gave me like 50 cents and a letter that says, listen, you're a nice guy. We did what we're going to do. And that one really screwed me because I had a job offer before that, coaching at the gym that I went to. And it was while I had in for that. And the guy wanted to hire me. They were going to give me $20 an hour. And I told the gym guy, I was like, if they don't give me $21 an hour at work, like I'm like, ready to leave. I wanted 2160, I think it was, because I found out that they hired another guy that was an inspector in a different area that had way less responsibility, and he was like, I'm not gonna say he was smoking weed because he didn't look like that type, but he was like baked. Like I smoke weed, but like he like was like kind of like sloth, like real like unusually slow. But I don't think he smoked weed. I think he was just like slow, like, which is not bad, but like for the area he did and the work that he did, the only reason he got the money he did was because he started recently, and that's, you make $20 starting at, sheets. I don't mean it as an insult, like just like so slow. The only reason I say it's because like somebody at work said it one day, and like kind of looked like it, like when he was working, like, just like because his arms just moving so slow, and like he had like the short trimmed hair, and like that was kind of that color, and he was a nice kid, but I should have been making at least as much as him. He was like, very young and inexperienced, and the work he was doing wasn't sensitive. It wasn't, nothing, but it wasn't, the stuff that we did. Yeah, he wasn't setting up giant turbine blades and, measuring surface finish and, taking chord length readings on the blade and, doing precise, that kind of stuff. He's just kind of like pushing some buttons and doing some simple measurements on parts that would go on the, machines. he actually ended up leaving like 2 months later. He got a better job. Oh, I was salty about that. And then they tried to get me to come down and do that work. The inspection manager really was lobbying for me. He liked me a lot, and they ended up firing him when COVID happened because he made a lot of money, and they gutted. Some of the people were drains, but they gutted it. I'm probably blathering a little bit too much about my work, not like from like a me perspective, but probably a bit much to just keep hearing about. It was cool in a way. Like I got to work on a lot of like crazy shit. I've worked on shit for pretty much every space program that exists these days. Outside of like, maybe like stuff being done by like People's Republic of China and, North Korea and Russia. Though some of my stuff has probably been to Russia. Probably not China or Korea. Well, maybe China. China fucking gets everything. I'm hoping. Like I said, I'll find out soon about the unemployment. If I get the unemployment, it's gonna be nice because I'll have 26 full weeks of getting like most of my pay, and I the requirements for unemployment here are 2 job applications a week, and you just got to keep records or whatever. So it's like very easy to keep up on. So I can take my time. I'll probably be putting in more than 2 applications a week. So far, I've been taking it easy because I don't know how pressing this is yet. If I gotta hurry up, I might be more inclined to take something that pays significantly less than I was making. But I don't want to be out there spoiling too many interviews before I you know, know exactly what's going on. But I'm totally happy. I kind of wish that I'd have been able to maybe hang on a little longer and do the music thing. But in retrospect, with the way everything has panned out, like emotionally and the journaling, and I've had like some big breakthroughs in the music since it's happened. And like I was starting to make a little bit of forward progress on it towards the end there, which I think is why I was so frustrated because like I kind of got the mixing, and then like I would go back and do the other things, and like and and then I had like something I one night, I think it was over the course of 3 nights, maybe 2 nights, longer sessions, 4 hours, and I actually knocked out something that sounded like a song. Here, I'll actually pull it out here. It's not like it doesn't have like a definitive lead. It's kind of garbagey. The drums don't change, but it like had sections that were identifiable with like an energy change. It was actually like I think it got sparked on a night when you were in there maybe, and I like started to try to make something like I was like, okay, I need to get out of this sound designy thing. Let me try to do something kind of like what I used to do. And I can't remember exactly what tools I used. I think I maybe used some kind of sequencer or a synth or something, and I like tried to, or maybe I pulled out some. I forget what I did, and let me pull it out here. It was kind of like a song, and like that was like a breakthrough for me. It was like garbage, but I was like, whoa, that looks like a song. That doesn't look like hey somebody's like trying to make music. I like it's a shitty song, but it's a song. Actually, let me pull it up. It'll be easier another way. I can't read that up there too well. Oh, here's a tip that I can give that I don't know if you have tried or even have the means to try, but if you have the means to try it, is having a vertical monitor and the horizontal. I've got let me make sure my OBS or yeah, my OBS is doing it right. But this monitor is my horizontal, and then to the right of it, I have this one vertically, and these are 34-inch gaming monitors. And having this, I don't know how much you used Ableton. I know you got it, and well, I guess yeah, if you're using the scaler, you're probably still using it. Having this way, I've thought that I was going to use it more like this, like as a mixer thing, but this is the way, like right here, and being able to have all these different tracks piled on top of each other, and having this whole thing over here, it is freaking yeah. Depending on the size, the vertical might not be as useful because they're not super wide. These are like 32s or 34s, but if the vertical works for you at that size, man, it is really like I've been having some breakthroughs with like understanding clip view more, like being able to do that and being able to like highlight this and it comes up down here, and I've really been like it's been a real workflow enhancer. And also that bar up here, when it's down on this screen, it's always like so sensitive, when you're doing your zooming and dragging. But like over on this thing, whenever you're doing it, you got all that extra space, so it's not bad to have it, fully expanded and actually be able to see your shit. But it's so much less sensitive when you're scrolling across that. It's like, but yeah, the vertical and the horizontal has been like such a game changer, and that came after the work thing too, because I've had time to like do some of this stuff. I've now got my fucking MIDI fighter twister mounted on a mount like up here by the arm of my chair. Man, I've had so many like breakthroughs in like my setup here. Oh, another big one. I don't know how much you use shortcuts, but one of the things that's been really instrumental in me getting my shit together is how do I get down here? I got this little macro pad. I've got a couple macro pads, but this is like the one. Oh, I can't make it bigger. I'd have to change my resolution, but you could program like 3 different key maps on it, and each button has a different depth, so you can assign different functions, to the different depths. It's got like a little scroll wheel, a little joystick, and then this little one for enter for like start stop. And you could program, any shortcuts, and not just like regular regular shortcuts. You can actually like program like mouse actions and all kinds of different things, and then you can have follow-up actions and like turbo buttons. They do, but there's one that they stopped. I think maybe like the 64, and I can't remember if it's like the 64 with the arcade buttons or if it's the 64 twister. But I remembered you said that they were discontinuing, and I saw that they were discontinuing something. You know what it is? They discontinued the MIDI Fighter 3D, which is the regular MIDI Fighter, but when you twist it, it does the gyroscopic. They took the gyroscopic out of it and they rebranded it as the MIDI Fighter X, maybe not X, but something kind of dull. I think it was. It wasn't like a. I don't recall it being a striking name. But I really love the Twister. I need to get the the regular MIDI fighter set up like on this side for like my right hand, and I've got a 64 key thing. I don't have my keyboard camera up right now. I took it down because I've been adjusting so much shit in here. 16 pads. Yeah. Yeah, the 16 pad regular one. I'm glad that I got the early one. The only thing I hate about it is that the USB cord goes towards you. And but you got the bank buttons, and I tried to move the bank buttons to the bottom, which you can do, but like I bump them so much. So it's like I leave it that way, and you got that USB out towards you. I guess they did it because they wanted it to be like a game controller, and back then, maybe game controllers did that back in the day or something. But I saw that on the new design, they finally moved it around. I'm glad I have the gyroscope one, but and I really like the Twister. I should actually show you. I think I could just swing this around without too much problems. Setup in here is so badass now. I don't know if the green screen's gonna let me do it, but yeah, this is like there's my keyboard under there. Yeah, it's Butcher, and it's you know what? I can turn that off. How do I disable it? There we go. Yeah, like there's the arm of my chair, and then I got my Twister like right here. That's the arm of my chair. My keyboard here, the regular keyboard on it. I still haven't set my Stream Deck up. I dug that out. I bought that a long time ago. And then I got this little thing with the rotating wheel for different shortcuts. That's pretty sweet. And then I got this thing mounted here, just kind of floating. Got my MPC piled up with stuff like a treadmill over there. One of the MPCs, and I got my new boom arm mic because I had my old mic clamped to the freaking chair. It was just like clamped to the arm of the chair. Got my guitar up on the wall, my bass. Yeah, if there's one thing I did, it's I built a nice fucking setup in a tiny ass fucking room. My chair is actually like bumped up against the bed that I sleep in. I actually have to climb over the arm of the chair and the table that my arm is on, where the mouse is. I have to climb over that to get into my bed. It's pimp, but I need to make a path in, some kind of ingress. But like there's like no space in here. I'm like and this is like it looks cramped, but it feels like heaven because like when I first started this shit, when you first saw me, I was like sitting in my twin bed, hunched over that little MPK Mini on a little flat board that I took out of an old entertainment center. And I'd have like this thing that would hold the camera up. And I actually had like the thing that's holding my keyboard up's like a little folding table that's like a TV tray kind of thing, like so you could sit at your couch and have a little tray to eat on. I bought at Walmart for $20. So I had those things, and I had my push on one of those, and I took the legs of it and I would jam it into the corner of the bed so it would like sit across the corner of the bed, and like if I like woke up too fast or I like kicked in the air, I would kick the bottom of the table and the freaking push would jump in the air. And I had the push on the left corner of the bed, and the right corner of the bed, which was against the wall, had a little DDJ on it, a little Pioneer DDJ that I bought for like $80 because I saw my friend had one, and I was like, dude, I could do that with my Spotify, $80, and I bought it and played with it for 10 minutes, and then I went back to regular music production and thought one day I'm gonna learn how to use that. I had that on the one corner with a couple of shitty microphones that I found, and then the other end of the bed would be in the corner, and then there was a chair against the other end, and then my MPC was on the one side, and there was just enough room on the bed that I could hang my legs over in one spot between that chair and the MPC. And I'd have a bucket sitting there with my little dab rig on it. No, no, I was sitting in my fucking bed. And a lot of the room at that time was just filled with, I don't want to call it junk, but like when I moved into this house, it was like a fast move. I should say room. I live in the house, but like I really live in the room. Like, but when I moved in, it was like in a hurry kind of thing, and I lived, the room I was in then, I was in a room, but it was like freaking huge. I left half my crap there. We were actually chipping in, and a family member had, that we weren't close with had passed, and there was a house there was payments being made on it, and through family connections, it's like, oh, well, we'll live there and pay on it, and then, it'll be, ours or whatever. And that person never kept up on things, and out of nowhere, we had to like get out fast. So, we had to move quickly, and like in that situation, it was like, well, there's a lot of stuff that I don't even care to like move here. We're just gonna leave this stuff here since it's, being repossessed or whatever anyways. And even at that, like I only brought the stuff that was, actually like valuable in some capacities. Like anything that's like not worth $50 isn't moving. So like, it was kind of like a hoarders kind of thing going on. And that was one thing that I've done over the last year that really has improved things. Actually, it's probably been 2 years as I've slowly been morphing. The first thing I tried to do was make the bed nicer. I got a giant beanbag chair that was wedge shaped, and I would use that and I'd push it up against the wall so I'd have some kind of backrest on the bed. And I think that not having a comfortable environment was probably a part of my early slow progression as well. Hard to be creative and learn and be, freaking trying to work like that. But yeah, I think like the key thing that led to the turnaround in the design, the comfort, was I bought a standing desk table, which I can't utilize because I can't move my chair out, so there's nowhere to stand. Like I'd have to stand on the chair. But I bought a really nice standing desk at Sam's Club, and like it's like motorized and everything, like a nice glass top. And I had no idea how I was gonna fit it in here, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna like build it in place. Like I took the legs and I found a place for the legs, and like I built it, and it was just like completely Tetrised in with just like I said, I don't want to call it junk because it was all worth something, but like just stuff. And like eventually, I like started hollowing out and like taking stuff out to where like I could like put a chair in front of it. And then once that happened, it started like moving along nicely. Yeah, I switched the bed around, and yeah, because the bed went right up about to the table, and it was going the other direction. And I was like, okay, and if I flip the bed around and and I sell that and I move that there and but oh, like I was saying, these freaking macro pads, if like I don't know like how like much you utilize shortcuts, but I always had a hard time remembering any keyboard shortcuts. And man, I'm sure I don't know any close to all of them, but I have this thing full. I've got both of those other pads you've seen full. I know others. I got another thing that was if you use a regular mouse, I think you know what? I think I remember seeing you use a trackball back in the day. I think you got the the it's not this one, but it looked like this one, the Logitech. This is a Logitech, but this is the new version of that one. But but if you do a regular mouse, you know what? I don't know if I could pick this one up. It's kind of tethered. I have a second one. I got them on sale. I bought a second one because they're an old model. They got 15 buttons on the side. It's a Razer Naga X. But if you can utilize a regular mouse, the buttons are a little bit awkward, but like being able to have like the copy paste and a couple on there. I actually got another trackball too, but I haven't been using it. It's a finger ball, the Kensington Orbit Fusion. I really kind of like it, but it's really tough for music production. Like it's tough. I've been meaning to try to get a little bit more into it. I bought that whenever I started the class. I bought a few of these input devices. I was like, I want to have, you know, a lot of different options here, and I want to be able to remember the shortcuts, and I think that stuff made a big difference for me too. Another thing I did recently that's awesome is I finally got away from Streamlabs OBS and moved to straight up regular OBS, and freaking it's using way less computer resources. Like I think during like average production, I would be like on the old setup. I was probably like running like 80% processor, and now what I do, it's like 60%, and on top of it, it's got like I've got the scene switching based on where my mouse is, and I'm still doing the streams on YouTube and Twitch, though there is one extra step that's a bit of a pain in the butt, but it would have been fine. It's more of a YouTube problem. I have to make a new stream every night for YouTube, or it'll put a thumbnail in there that I don't want. So, and it's free. The Streamlabs was costing me $100 a year, maybe 120 a year, in order to have the multi-stream for YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And in the process of setting up the new Streamlabs, I finally figured out why my YouTube was always so laggy. There's a setting in YouTube that I didn't notice because I always let Streamlabs set my shit up. Where's my second screen? There we go. Yeah, I really like on the stream how whenever like when I go to the second screen, it pulls it up, and it still doesn't take away from what's going on the main screen. I kind of wish it was on the right the way I'm looking at it so people would see exactly what I see. But that's still pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I've never messed with Serato. I think I've seen it a little bit, but most of it that I've seen was probably when I would see you. I almost forgot. I saw that and forgot about it when we got on the trackball, or when I meant saw you get on the trackball. Yeah, I originally got the track. I've been using trackball since way before music because I was a very early adopter of a computer for all my entertainment needs. Like I haven't watched like well, I haven't had television since like 2007. Like I got heavy into politics. I kind of got led down the libertarian false path for a little while there, and like I gave up TV back then because like I still watch some shows, but like and everything I would watch would be on my computer, and I'd always be in a bed or a chair with armrests or a couch. And regular mice are garbage on that. Even if you get like a mouse pad and try to do stuff, it never works out. And one day, like I saw a trackball, the Logitech one back in the day, the old school 501 or whatever it is, M501. I forget the number, 571. And I was like, let me try that out. And like it took me a while, but like after about a week, I was like, this is pretty cool. And like I actually discovered how not good I was with it during my recent resurgence in this music program and editing audio. Because I never got, to too big a loop. So I never like did dove deep into the audio editing. So like, I never really did a lot of this zooming and, the zoom to drag, like, so like when I had to do a lot of that with the trackball, like it really threw me. And that, my regular mouse, I ordered it early, but I had problems getting them in. And, so I was really struggling a lot, I think, because of the trackball at first. But since then, I've gotten much more precise with it. I still, if it's in this view and it's a large project, like this, I'm not too jittery because I have gotten better. But like if I open a bigger project, let me do my, actually, let me open it from the other way through my folders. Yeah, if I pop in, I'll have to make sure to not throw you off your game. Just just observe until you find yourself a little break or whatever, till you notice, if you notice. Just kind of hang in the back. Yeah, I don't worry. I dropped off before I mentioned a funny part of it is about talking and streaming music. Like I've never been like too self conscious to do it, and but like I stopped because like over and over, like it was like I was putting out too much crap and not improving. It's like unless I got a plan, I gotta rein it in. And when I was doing the music, starting my recent program and having trouble ramping up or whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna have to stop streaming. Like I was putting in 2 sessions a night for like an hour and trying to keep my Rocket League, like and like I was like, I'm gonna have to quit. And the one night I was actually like playing Rocket League and I was actually like low key crying. I don't know if it even like showed on camera like the whole night and just like miserable. And I was like, I gotta quit streaming, I gotta quit gaming, I gotta do like all music. I was like, I got to stop the stream. I was like, I didn't want to give up the stream because it's the only thing I was really, consistent on other than the music. I was like, but I got to stop it. It's like, I'll go to the end of the week in case any of the old people come through, which no one was coming through much anymore. I'd have some people for a while, but like it was getting bad because like I was fucking mopey, and I was like, I'll give it to the week. And then the next night I had some troll come in and started like riding my ass and like and oh shit, made a little bit of a mess up here. But and he like was ragging on me for like nobody being there. And like as he's doing, I'm like, fuck, I can't stop streaming now. I guess I gotta start streaming garbage fucking music again. Yeah, I really got into melodics. I think it's fun. I was gonna cancel my subscription again this year because like I felt like I needed to be like focusing on other areas of production until I like get better at it or whatever. Did this thing come out of the cartridge? No, it didn't. Thank goodness. I thought the cartridge went bad. But yeah, I really liked playing melodics. In a way, like I like what you're still saying. Like sometimes like not paying attention and just getting lost in it because that is fun. Because sometimes I notice like I missed some chat or something like that, and like if I'm lost in it having fun, yeah, I'm disappointed I missed the chat. But you know, I want to get lost in it and have the fun too. You know. But by the same token, I'm also of the mind that like not necessarily like if you're warming up or you know like or it's a night when you're trying to do something in particular, but to some degree, I think that there's a lot to being able to do a little bit of the multitasking and a little bit of you know doing it on the fly. Sometimes it like tonight I'm not with the music because like we're like kind of like maybe going a little bit deeper, but like you know if strangers come in and talk like I'll roll through it and like I've had some really good nights like the second thing that I made that sounded like a song which was better than the first one came out of a night when somebody else rolled in and I was doing garbage audio editing and I had been for like a week and like he said something he's oh did you ever like and like it was starting to sound like some ambient maybe almost a rhythm to it. And he like said, "So you ever try to make like dance music?" Like, yeah, I've done that. And like I was like, I'm kind of you know somewhat competent, you know, with drums. I know how to get drums going and stuff. And I was like, let me see what I could do. It's like you know, it's been a while since I've tried anything like that. I'm having a bad night here. You know, let's fucking roll with it and see if something else happens. And like I think I like programmed some drums, and then I remembered some other plugin I have called Atlas, which is badass. If you don't know what that is, that I bought back on a Black Friday sale. That's like a sample organizer that makes a map so that you don't have to go through folders. Actually, I don't need to open that. Let's just go to plugins. I think it's a VST3 Algonaut Atlas. Let's drop this thing on this instrument. And it has a sequencer built into it. And you can like throw your things on pads like an MPC over here. And where's our... Oh, here's how we make it bigger. And let me... I think I got to turn this on for the sound. No. How come we're not getting sound? Oh, probably because the instrument is muted. Where is our instrument? Let's bring this over here. And it is by this riser. There it is. So let's make sure that's on. What? Oh, it's got to be record. Now the button. There we go. So you can like, you know, zoom in here and be like, I want to go out, you know, up into Snare Town and, you know, grab a snare and zoom back out here. Need more cowbell. Where are the kick drums? There we go, kicks. And, you know, they're kind of organized a bit. You know, all the boomy stuff. And then down here you got your... And I just kind of like, just like, you know, put some shit on there. And, you know, actually, what the hell? Might as well follow through. Grab a boomy kick and something here. And yeah, that one's kind of ugly. Eh, there we go. And I don't know, that might not fit. And what do we got up here? And I just kind of like slapped something together and made a little thing. And then, I don't even know why I'm saying why I started telling it, but oh yeah, because it was the second thing I made or whatever, and then after you make it, you know, I had something going, and exported the stems, and then I kept like the basic ones, the drums and the bass, or I kept like two or three things. I didn't keep the bass. I changed the bass, and then I edited the bass like 8 times into like different layers, and it was like kind of crappy, like a little bit more song-like, but I think a big thing for me is like I said, feeling like, you know, I made it. Like if I like program something in here and then I start editing those things, I don't necessarily feel like I have to change them as much. And I think I like get more done that way. I have a hard time working with other people's sounds and not like diving down the rabbit hole of crazy sound design. Yeah, I like games, but right now I'm on a strictly anti-game diet for a little while. I thought about just being like, I'm just not gonna do games anymore and just music, but I'm not going that far yet. But for now, I'm on an anti-game diet until I get my music game down, which I think should be like, I think in 6 months, I'm gonna be knocking out music that I'm happy with every single like week, doing like a minimum of a song a week. And if I like keep putting in the time that I put into gaming, that I've been putting into music, that I've put into music in the past, you know what I mean? Like I got over a year of multi-hour streams doing, mostly or all music before I started doing gaming as like a way to, I guess, be successful at something after failing at music every night. But because I started my streams as music only, like, and after a while, I was like, maybe I should like unwind at the end of the night and play some GTA, and then I found Rocket League, and then I started getting good at Rocket League, and I never quit doing music. Maybe like for very very short periods, but like I was always doing something, a little bit of melodics, trying to play with something, like, but when I started getting good at Rocket League, and I guess with GTA a little bit for a while, I really was doing, when I was playing that out. Hey, my streaming service chat relay thing. Oh, hey, it's put it up on the screen. Yeah, there's some stuff like that in my program, not necessarily like a 30-day thing, but there's like timer beats, and like there's a lot of different I guess I could say it, recipes. That's what they're called in the program. He actually has a book. I don't know if you ever heard of Ill Gates. The stuff he puts out is like like I guess like in the dubstep area. That's probably not what to call. He definitely like does some dubstep, but like I think of like maybe a more proper term. I'm not sure like all the shit that's called like maybe left field bass, like in that dubsteppy, noisy, glitchy kind of. But he's got it's called like the EDM cookbook. But It's actually like, not that I didn't expect it to be good, because like, I signed up for like a thing where I got to see everything he produced for like $5 a week before I got into this program. But it's a really deep, and coming from an artistic perspective and a lot of philosophy, and it's a really good program. And like, there's a lot of good stuff in it. And like I said, in a way, like the way the program's designed, it's designed to go through it a lot faster than I did. And I think that like a little bit of my neuroticism, ADD, and like, potentially like maybe on the spectrum, I've been suspicious at points, like hang ups, like got me like, well, really, no, I wouldn't say that, because where it really like hung me up, I was rolling with it for a while. I was like, okay, it doesn't matter that I did, garbage on the first challenge. It doesn't matter, second challenge is garbage. But when it got to like mixing, I still was having a hard time understanding audio and like frequency ranges. Like, I'm not particularly good with numbers. I'm a machinist. I can work with numbers, but like, you know, when you're doing that, like, it's certain numbers and patterns that you get used to dealing with. And like, I wasn't getting a lot of that, and like it really threw me through a loop. I was stuck on like you're supposed to do them in a week, but they say if it takes you more, take two. And my first, the first two things I did, like they took me to like solid 2 weeks, and they weren't done well. And like, it was like, well, they're not necessarily supposed to be done perfectly, and like the better stuff comes later. But I really did get hung up there, and like, I think deservedly so. I was gonna try to, just like blast through it, and then it makes sense when you start looking at like the order that things are in. It's like, well, if you're not doing this stuff right, this is gonna prevent a lot of bad habits and mistakes by getting this now. And I think I didn't have the time. I wasn't getting the sleep, the emotions, like shit got to me. And I think I kind of needed to to break free from the work thing, because that was all culminating. And then, like I said, like I was, they were trying to get me to like come back or whatever, and I was like, just give me like a couple weeks. I need to get my shit together, and I'll be back. And then I still haven't talked to them since, and they've been kind of giving me my space, I guess. And I've been waiting to hear back from unemployment before I contact them, because if I have to get a job fast, I want to wait until I'm in a job. I don't want to be like going back for a week and then all of a sudden being back to my anxious fucking former self. But in the coming weeks here, I'm going to be blasting through, and I'm going to be doing some of their timer beats and like some of their recipes. And like I said, it's honestly like I said, I didn't expect it to like be cheap or not detailed, but like it's like really, like I think like training that's like of a grade, of a caliber that professionals would appreciate. Yeah, the guy, I don't know if it's still going to be the guy that's going to be my personal coach, but the one guy that I talked to that like that for the live lessons is like the artist of the year on Mousetrap Records. I forget what his name is off the top of my head. What the hell is it? DJ something. I don't know if he keeps the DJ on there now. And supposedly Seal's one of the guys there. He doesn't do the online thing. I think he's like a more in-person thing, but I don't know if he still does. But I remember like in one of the videos, he was geeking out because he got Seal to work for him. He's like, Seal, from fucking Kiss on a Rose, fucking Seal. And I remember that was like one of the early things I saw him that like made me think, this is what I'm gonna do. Because like I appreciate, the kind, the dubsteppy glitchy thing, but like it's not Like, I mean, I got a lot of it in playlists and stuff, but like, if I think, well, what do I want to make? It's not that I don't want to make it, because I do. I want to make, everything, but, that wouldn't have necessarily been the place I'd have went, but like some of the stuff that I saw that he was into, and, and I started noticing the whole growth mindset stuff, and like, this like really, I think this is what I need to be in. All the characters and yeah, I actually, like I said, because of the timer thing, I knew about the timer things being part of the program. I got these little freaking egg timer things here. And then I thought about it and it's like, you know what? I'm up late a lot of times. And, I do live in a house with other people. And I thought about it. And I went out and I bought a whole bunch of hourglasses. This one's like 90 minutes. Yeah, these are egg timers. I got these for like 15 bucks on eBay. They're like stainless steel and you just wind it and it's got the numbers on the side and you just wind it so that the arrow points at your numbers. And I thought, I'm up late a lot of times. So I went and I got a bunch of hourglasses. This one, like I said, is like 90 minutes. And this one's actually, I'm a little worried because it's like all glass. And then I got a set of like six of these. There's like a 1 minute, a 3 minute, a five, a 10, a 15, and a 30. I think there might be a 20 in there. Well, the thing about your phone is every time you pick up your phone, you've got all those notifications or whatever. Well, I don't know about you. I got, and not even, not actually, I don't have notifications. I want to pick up my social media, go into my feed and check my email and, you know, and then I start thinking about, all that other crap. And that's one of the things he tells you in the programs, do whatever you can to, stay away from the internet or any of these distractions, which is one of the things I have trouble with, like not necessarily the internet so much. For a while I was trying to be able to, multitask, but I don't do much internet when I do music production, even for a long time now, I think. Like, I try to stay in the thing. I've always, just tried to figure a lot of it out on my own without looking stuff up. I've done some learning, but like I try not to do too much learning while I'm, actually trying to produce. There was one I wanted to buy. It was like a clock and it had one in it and like it had a base with an LED in the base, and then you would sit the thing in the base, and it would shine the laser up through, and it had like white sand in it, and it would refract out. It was so cool, but it was like 60 bucks, and I think I got that set with all these little ones. The set was like 25 or maybe 30 bucks, and the biggest one on that was 30 minutes, and I can't remember. This one's either 60 minutes or 90 minutes. And I bought them after I bought these ones at first. And then afterwards I thought about it, like, I'm up late. I probably shouldn't, be using those if I'm going to be doing anything late. And I was like, I better get the egg timers. I don't think there's any 60-minute ones in his thing, but I just wanted a 60-minute. I wanted a 90-minute too, but I don't think I bought one. I can't remember. But yeah, and I don't know if it still lines up because I've changed my camera situation around since I bought these. And I haven't really used them much because I didn't get to that level of the program yet. I was gonna try to do that. I actually like wrote down my own little timer thing because I wanted to do the timer beats, but like I couldn't do it. Like the times would have had to been like, you know, an hour a piece, which maybe I maybe should have. I don't know. Shit worked out, but oh no, I would have to lower it a little bit. When I first did it, maybe I even stood it up on something so that I could actually oh, it's got them on both sides, the numbers. Nice. So I could even have it like up on the screen where it's, or actually, I guess that's right in front of my face. I ain't missing that. It's right under my camera. Like, I don't know if I, this one, yeah, I'd have to, I'm not standing that up on anything. I'm so worried to even have it in here. The other ones, though, these ones, I think these are, yeah, these are super heavy duty and they got nice heavy rubber caps on them, though. I probably wouldn't be afraid to throw one of them across the room. Even the necks are like super fucking thick. Oh, dude, I felt like Father Time when I was looking them up too. There's so many cool ones out there with like the handles and like if I've ever got money and like successful, like dude, I am gonna have like egg timers like on swivels and you know all around the place. You know, on boom mounts, just like swing it over and flip it. There were so many cool ones I was looking at. If I didn't, you know, want to spend so much money on music gear, I would have bought so many cool ones. You know what I actually almost bought? I had to buy a clock because I hate the Windows taskbar thing, and I always end up having to hide it because it doesn't let me full screen and shit. And so I bought a clock, and when I was looking, I tried looking on Craigslist. I wanted to buy a cuckoo clock. I tried bidding on this one. She wanted like $80 for it, but I was like, I can't be spending $80 on a cuckoo clock when, you know, there's all kind of cool music gear I want to buy. Yeah, I don't know if I want to give away too many secrets. In fact, maybe I might even pull this stream down after the fact so that I'm not giving away, you know, publicly too many of the tips and stuff that I've been getting from the class. But one thing that I've been seeing is like, you know, not, you know, try to get it out in a day, but like, you know, not necessarily even mixing it in the same day and making, you know, like you're always doing a little bit of everything all the time, but really trying to make a separate, you know, mixing and production process. That way you don't end up in them situations, you know, skimping on things because you're, you know, thinking about the other thing when you're, you know, you should maybe be a little more in this mode. Actually, you know, I don't know if that really applies. I may be misinterpreting or kind of taking that a little bit out of context. I'm still not necessarily like, I think I'm at the point where I can do a good mix aside from the fancy mixing shit like before you take into account plugins and well not plugins like like as far as like grouping and I'm starting to you know be able to tell where things need to be and use actually be able to use reference tracks and you know just all that general kind of stuff and knowing getting an idea of you know what you really need to bring together to make it work. Oh yeah, I I shouldn't say that. I was almost going to say that I'm going to be finishing everything. Well, this thing that I just like punched up, this I'm not going to finish. This thing in Atlas, but that project that I was working on when you came in, yeah, I'm totally going to finish it. I don't know how much I played of it. Let me pull it back up. I don't even think this is it. I think this is something else. I think I like. Oh, you know what? This I think this is it. Let me switch back to my other way. I'm having a hard time zooming. I'm not used to having this screen up here. Yeah, this is actually like coming out way better than I thought. I think this is actually going to sound like a song that like I might put this one on Spotify. I've had the fucking not CD Baby, but the whatever the other big one is. It's like $20 a year for the distributor. I remember like back in the day, I bought that. I was like, I'll buy the subscription and I'm gonna start making songs every fucking week, and I'm gonna put one up every week. Let me turn that instrument off. What instrument was it? It was by that riser. That one, number 6. Let's let me take that back off of it. And turn it off. And I'll play it through. Like I thought it was gonna be like as bad as the other ones, and like I think it might actually come out already. I haven't done anything fancy with the drums yet. I just put like some super basic shit in just the whole place. I've got a couple other tracks that I'm gonna try to shake it up a little bit in the rhythm section. I'm definitely gonna try to do some automation. I still need to do some work with that garbage sound from earlier. And here, I'll just play what I got here. It's not good, but like there's points of it that like sound like kind of groovy a little bit. Where's my loop? Yeah, there's no fucking intro or nothing. That's pretty much what the drums do the whole time through. There might be a little fill somewhere in one of these, you know. Oh my god. We're turning that sound off until we pass that pinpoint. Not cool, but like it sounded like music. There's like another kind of like voice thing I did on a synth, you know, with MIDI. It's not this MIDI track, it's recorded audio, and I did a little tweaking, and I got some little freaking transition things in there. I'll probably try to make them a little bit better. I tried to save all my MIDI tracks so that if I want, I can come back and try to like rehypothecate some of that shit with, you know, different instruments. And then I got this kind of like chorusy thing. And then over here, I tried to make something that's like a drop, but I think it's more of like a breakdown or something. It's kind of a disjointed kind of. Definitely like needs something else in there. I'm not sure what happened. There was some kind of other thing that disappeared that I must have accidentally wrote over. Had some kind of like dribbly, bubbly kind of something. Yeah, I don't know that it's, you know. And then, what do I got? I got some other channels with some kind of percussion things I want to like maybe alter up, you know, so just not too much, you know, in there, but, you know, maybe a little something. And then I got some things that I haven't done any editing on these sounds, but some things to try to maybe toss in there. I think maybe there might be some stuff in here. Some hats. Some metallic shit. But, and then I wanted to try to, once I get, right now, at first I just had like some copy pasted single snare and kick, and then I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me program in some MIDI and like maybe put something in there, and put a couple, and so I put some, just like a solid little, and then after that, I couldn't resist doing something with. For days, I would like turn it on for a second and just laugh about how fucking horrible it was and how I could never put it in a song. And I'd try to think, I'd be like, what kind of devices can I fucking put on this thing to try to tame it and make it sound like something anybody would ever want to consider listening to. But yeah, I want to try to make something that sounds at least that good for these other sections. Try to juice this up. Maybe try to bring in some other sounds. Maybe try to come up with a better transition. Oh shit, this ain't my sound yet. This is just me trying to push some clay around and imitate some of the other sounds I've heard. I won't know my sound for probably years, I imagine. If I had to pick something right now, like that I wanted to, that like if I was like gonna be like, if I wanted to put out an album, like what am I listening to now? Like what would I like really want to try to create now? Like I want to try to create everything. Like I like even like a lot of like older like I don't know if I want to say classical music. I'm sure I like some classical music, but like like I like a lot of like the stuff that people wouldn't take me for, like Mad World, like the real prickly like stuff, but like stuff that I've really been getting into lately. If I was gonna like want to try to like emulate a style and come up with like a something, I've been listening to a lot of like halftime stuff that has like some elements of maybe some of the dubstep and glitch stuff, but not really too hardcore. It almost resembles like lo-fi, like in a way, like not a lot of words and vocals, not a lot of like excitement. And I've been getting into it as like journaling stuff. Cause like I had some like minimalist halftime, almost dubsteppy kind of stuff that wasn't like too harsh. And then like that list started trying to grow into include some other stuff. And then like some nights I'd be listening to dub or some like spacey dub inspired, and then the one night I was like wanting something like more stimulating, but like, something that you could still, write to without being too influenced by like a lot of words. And like, I was like trying to think of stuff and I was like looking up some Aphex Twin and it wasn't doing it for me. And, just like a lot of like ambient stuff, and I just typed in ambient noise. Like I don't know if I've ever heard that phrase or if it's just like something that came out, and like I started getting some really like really cool like noisy stuff, and like people using stuff from like cinematic packs and like really cool shit, like just on Spotify, just like ambient noise. Like, oh man, like a lot of it is so harsh, but like really good. And then like the other night, like I was listening to that for so long, and like it wasn't that stuff was inspiring bad things, but like I was having days that weren't the best, and I was like, I don't know if I just want to be listening to just that. Like that's probably gonna like push me to places that maybe I'd rather. Not that like I'm afraid to be there, but like I want to go to cool places. And so I kind of lost it there. Oh yeah, so I decided, it's like, you know what, I need to like make a playlist that's a combination, and it's got like lo-fi and like that minimalist, dubby, all that fucking shit in with that ambient noise. And man, I have really been digging on that playlist, man. Like I don't know if you've ever used the bone conduction headphones. that like don't cover your ears and you can wear them in public and you can like nobody fucking hears it. And like I've been wearing these things fucking walking around. Like if I go to the fucking store, I'm in the car fucking just listening to that shit. And yeah, dude, if you listen to music in public, if you use earbuds of any kind walking around in public, dude, these bone conduction headphones, they're a little pricey. Well, they've got cheaper models too, but like, dude, especially like the newer higher end ones, like these ones were like 170. They're freaking sick, man. They don't, nothing goes in your ears. They fucking sound amazing. Like, and like you could be walking to the store, you could be talking to people. Like if you got them cranked, it's hard to talk to people, but like, yeah, every night at the end of my stream, I put these things on and I try to, and tonight's gonna be, for a long time I wasn't, and the last couple nights I've been letting myself see the internet before I shut my computer down. No, not underwater. They just don't go in your ears, and the sound travels through the bones in your head. I imagine they would work underwater. I don't know if these are strictly waterproof. I know that they're water resistant, probably to at least a certain amount of meters. They don't have a USB on them, this model. The old model had a USB and they were not waterproof. But these ones, it got like a weird little magnetic connector and it doesn't go inside. Like there's no penetration point. Yeah, totally. Just the vibration on your temples. Even the old models, I bought two pairs of them probably 4 or 5 years ago at Sam's Club for $100 a piece, and they were awesome. They didn't have a lot of low end, but like they kind of made up for it, like a little bit. Like it was like it would give you some sympathetic low end, but they weren't real bassy. But they were awesome and like at work. You know, you could do your job and be listening to music and not have you still hold conversations because I work in a shop environment. And I had them for years, and they were awesome. And I just got a new set like a week before I got let go, and they're amazing. I was about to buy a second set because I like to have one set at home and one set at work. Had a pair for water. They'd always die after a month or two. Yeah, check these out. They're from a company called Shokz, Soshokz. I think they're actually doing a 10% off now. They don't do sales too often because I was waiting for another sale to buy a second set and then I got fired. Glad I didn't buy the second set because now I only need one. I don't have a job. I don't need a second set. Well, when I start going to the gym, I might want to get a second set. Yeah, I could still deal with these. But dude, these things are like amazing. That's another thing that I think stunted me a bit with my music. When I really started getting in heavy into music, it was when I quit snowboarding and I quit motorcycling and I quit working out. All three of them activities I would do like for massive amounts of hours. I would get no sleep at the expense of those activities. And I would be listening to music the whole time. I'd always have Bluetooth in my helmet. I started wearing a helmet snowboarding because I could have bigger speakers in my helmet. I didn't want to wear a helmet. Eventually, I liked it when I fell and it protected my head. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But like I started wearing a helmet so I could jam some giant fucking speakers in there. And so when I gave up those activities, like, you know what, they're expensive and all that shit. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on music. And like I wasn't listening to a lot of music anymore. Like I was always, all my spare time I was trying to produce. I wasn't enjoying music, and that's something that I've been and when I was at work and I was listening to stuff, I wasn't even listening to music hardly at all at work. I was listening to music production guides and music theory and song structure, and I did go through Rick Beato's what makes this song great, and some production tippy kind of things that would, encourage some good productive listening. I think a lot of that was time well spent. But, I really was for a long time neglecting the music, like, and like them bone conduction headphones helped a lot with it. I also had a nice set of over the ears ear protection that had Bluetooth in it that I bought for work that was freaking awesome too. I ended up leaving those there. I didn't really care. I don't really see myself using them anymore. If I need to be in a place where I need ear protection, the bone conduction, that's another thing. If you're ever in like a place with ear protection with these things, if you put in earplugs, it actually like amplifies the bass and like makes them even better. Like with nothing, they sound really good. Not necessarily as good as like a high end, like if you bought like a $200, not, I don't know how nice Beats earbuds is, but if you bought like a nice $200 set of, Sennheiser earbuds or something like that, you know, they'd sound nicer than this. But like these sound like as good as, anything you're going to buy at Best Buy for less than 200 bucks. They may be lacking in the bass just a hair, but like the audio quality on them's awesome. The old school cheaper ones, like I said, they had a little bit more of the sympathetic bass, and I broke a pair of them. Let me see if I can reach them. I don't know if you know what a sub pack is for like sub bass. It's like a pack that you could put on the back of your chair or like a backpack, and it would, mimic sub bass if you don't have like an actual subwoofer to produce on. I took an old pair of the bone conduction earphones that broke on me. After years of hard abuse, my work pair got screwed up because they would get crushed from my visors and stuff. They usually would have a hard back, and it snapped here at one point because I'd have it weaved through my my visor at work, and it ended up snapping here. So I was like, I want to reverse engineer this, and I was like, I'm gonna make a sub glove so that I could wrap this thing, around my fingers while I work, and I'll fucking get the sub bass come through my hand. And I knew that there was a delay because of the Bluetooth, because I have a Bluetooth transmitter and it's not good for live stuff. But I thought, well, if I use this and I use the Bluetooth transmitter and I connect these and my other bone conduction headphones, as long as I'm not playing anything in live, I might have a little bit of latency, but I actually could produce like that because, theoretically, the timing, of the delay should match up between the two sets, which would be true if we're talking about both of my old sets. But if I was going to want to produce with them, I would want to use the new set, and the timings on the new set and the old model don't match up. And I wouldn't want to use the old one because they're good quality, but like these ones are like really freaking good. Like I said, they are lacking in the bass a little bit, but man, like the high end is like really good. Oh, all of it's really good. Just lacking in that bass just a hair. Yeah, and then like, yeah, I had them on. You saw they hang behind your head. They weigh like nothing. They're like, yeah, that's like, I don't know what it is. It's not much. They're one of the lightest sets of headphones I've ever had. And I've had a lot of sets of headphones. Yeah, I always had something at work. They were usually earbuds. Ever since way back in the day, the first really expensive. Well, I guess I had some Sennheiser buds before that were pretty pricey. But I remember when LG had like the Bluetooth ones that would lay on your collar, and it'd have them little sockets that they'd magnetically plug into. But ever since I've had shit tons, and they're definitely up there in the best of. Yeah, this back to oh, they're freaking awesome. Like I said, the most expensive pair. Actually, they even just came out with a pair that's newer than this. The pair that I showed you, my new pair that I think is super awesome. I think that model was released like a year or two ago, and just like 2 weeks ago they released the new ones. They're called the Open Run Pro, and the company name is Shokz, Shokz. And yeah, the set I bought was like 170, worth every penny. If the new set cost 225, I'd pay every penny of it. Yeah, they're freaking amazing. I'm a little salty that I wish that they'd have come out with it like maybe like 8 weeks earlier, and I would have had the newest set. And if you want to try them, if you order them through their website directly, they actually give you a 30-day no money back or no questions asked money back guarantee. And if you like decide if you get try the nicest set and decide you want to buy a cheaper set, they'll let you return that set and they'll send you the cheaper set to try too. Yeah, they're totally worth every penny. Yeah, if you listen to music, through Bluetooth, in a public environment at work or gym or anything, even driving, like I wear them in my car. Like my stereo in my car admittedly kind of sucks now. It was real pimp for a while. I installed my own shit, and that was kind of part of the problem. Really, that wasn't the problem. It was a little bit, but I think like some connections somewhere got pulled apart. I paid someone to kind of clean up my mess, and so like I got some, but it was like a little, and like I don't even bother with it anymore. I disconnected it from my phone. I just listen. Anytime I leave the house, I got them things on. Yeah, the cheapest set I think they sell is probably like 70 or 80 bucks. And I actually even looked on eBay. The set like I bought, they were called the titanium. I seen people selling them used on eBay for like 30 bucks a pair, which I would totally pay 30 bucks. The battery, I've been using them since I bought them. The battery still lasts like 6 to 8 hours. Actually, you know what? 8 hours. I wore them all day at work, and I worked for 8 hours plus lunch, and I would leave them on through lunch. So yeah, even if you just like go look for an old pair of the Trex titanium on eBay for 30 bucks, that'd be a good entry point if you were not wanting to spend a lot of money. Yeah, because I was looking, because I was like, I wonder what I could get for, that other set now that I don't have a job. I was like, maybe I'll sell those and, buy a set of the nicer ones whenever I got a job again. And I was like, 30 bucks, I was like, I'll give these to my dad. Because I know he wears headphones a lot. I think so. They were used, but they don't go in your ear, so it's not really a big deal. Let me pull up eBay on my other screen here. See how much, because I'm pretty sure that's what they were. Because I was like, it's not even worth putting them on eBay after you pay the freaking, you know, pay them their cut and then drive to the post office. Like, yeah, is it really worth it? Just give them to somebody who needs them. Me, Shokz titanium.